Hey guys, welcome to Telltale. I'm Emily,
I'm Greg.
and here we are at Blackheart Books, enjoying ourselves in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, getting out of the basement, and enjoying a local indie bookstore who has been wonderful and phenomenal at helping provide us with some of the works that we've been looking for. So, Greg is currently looking at getting his scrolls all sorted out, but we are doing the story The Terrible Old Man by H.P. Lovecraft. So we're working on our H.P. Lovecraft bibliography.
Yes, and this is number 21 in Lovecraft's works.
Is it really only 20? I feel like 21.
Only
I feel
21.
like we've only...
And it was published in a magazine called The Tryout for July of 1921.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Or should I dive right into it?
Go ahead.
All right. So, there's this guy who's a terrible old man. Legit. Just hanging out around town. And there's rumors that he used to be a pirate or some kind of sailor. And that he'd committed terrible acts and accumulated a lot of wealth and lived in a nice big house.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, these two guys decide we're gonna steal from that feeble little old man. And so they break into his house, only to find that he has these weird little jars hanging from the ceiling of what appear to be some kind of black dust. So not quite sure what that's about, but then the guy's like whispering to them and talking to them. And they're just like, what the hell? Crazy old man. So then they're gonna go and jump him, and mysteriously they all die. They're just missing. They just go missing.
Mm-hmm.
Never to be seen again. And that terrible little old man
well, you know where they went to.
Yeah, shh. It's a secret. Yeah, but anyway. He done did murdered him. But nobody knows that for sure. Because they kind of just went missing to the public.
They're in the jars in the ceiling.
Yeah, they're in the jars in the ceiling. So yeah. Yeah, that's the whole story. It's basically these guys thinking they're going to get away with pulling shit on this creepy old man that nobody likes in town who's old and feeble.
Mm-hmm.
Only to get their asses handed to them and lose their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, very, on par for H.P. Lovecraft. Great story.
Yeah, it was very, very short. And I feel like not just this one, but some of the others that of this time period by Lovecraft have a very almost like a Grimm's fairy tale feel to it.
Yes, and a lot of them...
The way it's told.
Yes. And I feel like he has this little fixation with pirates. I feel like they keep kind of like popping up. And maybe it's just because he lived on the East Coast and just, the ocean is part of your day-to-day life kind of thing. And in his time, a lot of like commerce and things and imports and things were all done by sea.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why, but I just think he's got this little fascination with like pirates and piracy and, this little like, the buccaneer kind of lifestyle, which I think is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, be nice to old people.
Yeah.
They might murder you.
Yeah.
They just might. You're not old yet.
60.
Okay, maybe a little. It's not the worst. I'm only half your age.
Yep.
But yeah, this story was kind of interesting simply because the story itself is short, and to give a synopsis again does not give it justice. Because H.P. Lovecraft has this very particular way of crafting a story and selecting his words so well. You can't give it justice. Like, yeah, it is a story about a little old man who murders some guys who try to break into his house.
Yeah.
It's so much more than that, though, when you read it. And the way he just stylizes things, we cannot express enough that H.P. Lovecraft is a master at writing, especially horror. So even something as short and as simple as this story was still really great. I wouldn't put it in top tail status because I've read better from Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And we've had stuff that we've enjoyed, and I'm sure we'll have more that we'll really enjoy. So I wouldn't say it's one of his strongest pieces, but it is definitely well worth the read.
Yeah, it's recommended to anybody that loves the Lovecraft style horror.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's pretty good.
And it's not going to take much of your time, so why not?
Yeah, absolutely. I really don't have more to say about it because it was so concise, and like you have to decide for yourself as a reader if you're going to enjoy it as much as we did or not. because we can only give you the bare bones of it. You have to experience Lovecraft in order to be able to fully appreciate Lovecraft.
Right.
So, have at it. Give it a go. Recommended, but not his strongest work. But if you have a busy life, this is a quick read. 10 minutes or less. You can probably get it done.
Oh, yeah. And our next Lovecraft, then, is going to be The Tree. That'll be his 22nd work. That'll be coming up fast. So I'm accelerating Lovecraft a lot because I want to get up to a certain point with Lovecraft to be in sync with my Weird Tales reads.
Yes.
So I'm pushing a lot of Lovecraft through right now to try to get up to 1923.
And I'm brushing up. I feel like now I'm put a few years between me and my reading his complete works. That now I'm like, you tell me a title, I'm like, crap. What was that one again? And I've read so many things in between that I'm just rereading them to make sure I'm on top of things.
Right.
So, but again, H.P. Lovecraft, super accessible. You can find stuff at your local library. I'm sure any indie bookstore that you could go to probably has Lovecraft on its shelf.
And one of the best books to look for is the new annotated H.P. Lovecraft Beyond Arkham, which
this is gorgeous.
The Terrible Old Man with a lot of interesting footnotes. That relate to things talked about in the story. Because a lot of times in his stories, Lovecraft referred to actual places, actual buildings that existed, which didn't have the events happen in them, but he knew these places and he worked it into his story.
Yes. Yep. And I think that's phenomenal. And being able to be inspired by your own surroundings. Stephen King does that too. Where it all takes place in Maine usually, or some weird, little town in the middle of nowhere somewhere. It's very small town America. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting to see these things come out of places that actually exist, or exist, even if it's a fictitious place, exist in proximity to places that are real, which is, I think, kind of fun. So, have you read? Have you heard? Have you seen H.P. Lovecraft's The Terrible Old Man, and of course any of his other works? Have any questions, comments, concerns, snide remarks? Don't make fun of us for our audio, please. Again, we're getting over it. We're getting through it. But comment, enjoy, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.